Yeah, good afternoon all. Over to you, Swagata sir.
Ah, yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the second day of the World of GenAI session. Uh, yeah, over to Adarsh, our
Thanks.
speaker for the session.
Yeah, thanks, Swagata.
Yeah,
So, let's start with the all the things what we have discussed last time. Just a quick review of the things and what exactly we are going to be learned during this entire 6 days. So, I'm just reiterating those things so that
yeah,
everything should be clear to everyone that what exactly the objective of this program and finally what would be the outcome of this program. So during the first uh, day, what we have learned that is the basic understanding about the generative AI. Right? My voice is not audible.
yeah. Your voice is audible. Is it
Yes, you are
audible to
audible.
everyone?
Yes, Swagata sir. It's audible.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
ठीक है. Yeah,
Okay. So what we are going to do is first we are going to discuss the day one we have discussed about the basics of generative AI and the different branches of the generative AI. So all the clouds would be clear. What is AI? What is a deep learning? Or what is your machine learning? Or what is the NLP? And finally, what is the generative AI? Where exactly we are going to work on, right? So there should not be any kind of a confusion or the doubt that what is a generative AI and what is a AI, how it is different to each other, or what is a deep learning. At times, people are keep on mixing those things, generative AI or AI or the deep learning or the machine learning. So being a trainer, we should know what exactly the differentiation in between all of these terms and the technologies and the where the uses of these are going to be happen, right? So this is what exactly we learned in the first segment of the day one. Second segment of the day one, we have discussed about the various processes, various techniques, or we have discussed about the prompt engineering, that what exactly the prompt engineering and how it plays a crucial role in the generative AI, right? Without the role of the generative prompt engineering, we are not able to work on the prompt generative AI. So the prompt engineering is playing a one of the crucial role. It is something like that. If you want to articulate some article, or if you want to write something on a paper, so you would require a pen or the pencil, right? Similarly, to work on the generative AI, what you require, that is of the prompt, right? So you should know what exactly the prompt and the prompt engineering is, how it is going to be work, and what are the different ways how we are able to refine our entire prompts. So this was we have discussed on the day one. Now today is the second day. We are going to have a further deep down into the generative AI. We'll going to see the real life uses of the generative AI in terms of the industry, as well as in terms of the various uses what we are able to do with our day-to-day work or day-to-day life or day-to-day professional events, how we are able to leverage this generative AI. And we are going to be work on the various kind of the prompts, the different type of the techniques, how we are able to write the prompts. Also, I'm going to share some of the customized tools so that people are able to take the usage of the prompts effectively or efficiently, because there are so many things are going to be coming to the picture now on. Last day, what we are going to have further more advancement in the prompts, that what are the different advanced techniques, how we are able to write the prompts. And then we are going to be discuss about the ethical uses and hallucinations, or we are going to discuss about the various kind of legal aspect of the this generative AI. So that would be the entire 3 days content what we are going to be deliver. I hope it makes sense to everyone. If there is any questions or the queries, I would request you feel free to post in the chat box. Like the day one, whatever the doubts or the queries was keep on coming, you are actively posting your questions. Again, I'm expecting today that everyone should able to keep on posting the doubts or the queries or whatever the questions is coming in your mind. Feel free to mention in the chat box. I highly appreciate or welcome all of the questions which is coming in your mind. Also, I will request you for today's session, if you are able to keep uh, on your machine, or maybe you are having the two terminals, or maybe just in a one machine itself, you can just excuse up the screen and open this one. So parallelly, you are able to try the prompts as well. So you will have some of the hands-on as well, right? So by doing that hands-on, it will give the confidence to you, right? So that I'm expecting from you people. Uh, we are able to work further. So let's begin to this one where
Yeah.
we are going to move forward today. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So today we are going to start with the magic of this generative AI in the real life, right? As I already mentioned about the different type of the AI and the generative AI, which we have discussed on the previous day as well. Now, the magic, why we are using this term, that the magic of the generative in the real life, because we are able to do something which is unexpected, right? That we are able to bring on the floor, right? Something we have not imaginative about the computers, that computer can do these things as well. But with the help of the generative AI, we are able to do that one. That's why we are using the term as the magic of the generative AI, right? And this real life scenarios, it could be anything, right? It is not a domain specific in which domain you are working on, right? Irrespective of the domain, there are the various of the use cases of the generative AI is possible. Here I will try to limit all of those use cases which is related to your domain or to your industry, so you are able to connect the dots, right? Move forward to this one. What we are going to discuss in the first segment of this, that is the generative AI, what we are able to use in a daily task, examples of the everyday task, right? And the technical applications of this generative AI, right? And creative uses of this generative AI, and few of the case studies and examples, so that you are able to correlate those things, right? And another one of the big misconceptions the people are having, that because of the generative AI, the jobs are going on, right? It's not the case. In fact, there are a lot of the new jobs are coming up in terms of a generative AI, right? So that you are able to understand that as well. Okay. So first thing about the everyday task, right? Just imagine what exactly you are doing in your everyday task. Maybe you are a VFX professional, or maybe you are an animator, maybe you are a character designer, or maybe you are a story writer, or maybe you are just one of the office worker, right? You are just keep on typing the emails every day, right? Maybe you are just keep on posting the blogs, right? Or what's not, whatever is your job, right? Maybe you are a chef who is interested in cooking the different variety of the foods, right? So everywhere, every of these segments, these are the everyday tasks what we are doing, being a one professional in our domain, or in our expertise, right? We, and all of these places we are able to use this generative AI, right? No segment, no industry is untouched with the generative AI, right? Only the thing is that how we are looking at, right? Some people are looking as the negative aspect of it, some people are looking at the positive aspect of it, some people are seeing like, okay, it is a critical thing, we are not able to do it, right? But it's not the case, right? Just consider this one. The first time when we have tried to learn any of the language, maybe the English language, right? Maybe our mother tongue could be a Hindi, or it could be Marathi, or it could be Tamil, Telugu, or what's not, right? But when we are learning about any of the foreign language, right, at times it is one of the confusion is going to be come in our mind whether we are able to learn that language or not, right? But if we are looking at the positive side of it, right, if we are looking at the constructive aspect of it, definitely we are able to do each and everything what we want to do it, right? So if we want to learn German, Spanish, French, Italian, uh, whatever the language is, right, we are able to learn no matter what is our mother tongue is, right? So similarly, to work with the generative AI, we have to look on this one. If I'm a chef, right, being a chef, my everyday task is I need to experiment with the different type of the recipes, right? Or I need to deliver the best quality of the dishes to my uh, customers who is visiting my restaurant, right? They should appreciate it. I would like they should come again and again at my restaurant, right? So when it comes to the recipe creation, at times it happens that we are having the limited resources in terms of the recipes, right? Let's say, for example, uh, the spices what we are having, they are having a limited scope. Vegetables we are having the limited scopes. At times we are trying to experiment something, but the idea is not going to be click in our mind. Or maybe being a chef, I have not traveled across the world. I've just visited maybe in a one of my region or a state, right? So I'm just aware about the dishes which is available or which is going to prepare in my region, right? But I'm not aware the dishes which is being prepared in the South India or maybe West India or the East India, right? For that, what I need to do is I need to look on this one, right? So maybe I'm not sure, like if some of the dishes of the East India being cooked with the same ingredient what I have, right? So the generative AI can help me in this. Similarly for the email writing, right? The idea is not coming how the letters needs to be placed or the words needs to be organized. What should be the right way to construct the statements or whatsoever is. So that is a everyday office task. Now, when it comes to your daily task, right? Being a one of the creative industry professional, right? So the creative industry professional everyday task is what? Concept of art, right? And an ideation, right? I think it is a one of the very time-consuming task, correct? And at times
Correct.
the idea what we have in our mind, right, that idea we are not able to you know uh, complete from start to end, correct? Because it may require a lot of the iterations or it may require a lot of the thought process. Am I right?
Correct.
So now that time consuming task what we are having, we are able and in fact this concept of the art and the ideation, right, this is a time consuming task also. It is not yielding the productivity in a way that we are not able to generate some of the product or the some of the design. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah.
Because you require certain tools after this one. So at time the concept or the ideation may require a 1 day time or 2 day time. Suppose that you requiring a some of the tools, right? By using the tools, you are going to produce the output, which is actually your productivity. Right? Here, the generative is going to help you. Right? You are able to use the generative AI tools. Right? So
Right.
this is the one of the important thing where we are going to use this entire generative AI for our everyday uses. Another is a background environment creation. Right? Uh, I think Swagita will definitely acknowledge this one. To define a certain background for a one artwork or maybe some of the art creation, or to define that environment, how many iteration we require, how much time it requires,
Correct. Yeah.
right? So it is possible that we have something in our mind, right? Definitely it is in our mind, right? But to translate those things which is in our mind with the help of a certain tool, right? It is not an easy job, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because for that, at times you are struggling with the type of the textures what we are having, right? At times you are struggling with the type of the backgrounds what we are requiring, right? Or at times that texture what we are having, it is going to match with the background or not, right?
Right.
So we are trying those things and experimenting those things, and finally we are going to create a certain output, right? And if it is fits well, then we are further enhancing that, right?
Yeah.
And it is tedious job. Generative AI will help you in this, right? So you are able to experiment all of those things. You are able to get a one of the set of the background or the environment. Based on that created environment with the help of the generative AI, you can use the associated other tools, right? To which you are very much familiar, right? You are able to make those small tweaks, and your background is ready, your environment is ready, right? You are able to save a lot of time. Similarly, when we are coming on the character and the object design, right? This character and object design is again one of the challenging tasks, right? At times eyes are not going to be matched, or maybe our PS feels like, oh, this face is not looks good, right? Or the nose is not looking nice, right? Can you make some tweak in this one, right? So it's not an easy job, right? It requires a lot of skills in that, right? Though we are having a lot of tools, but time is precious. Nowadays everything is based on the time, right? So to create these kind of models in terms of a character or the object is again a difficult task, right? Especially when it comes to the 3D model creation, right? So 3D model creation meaning that it requires a lot of the detailing as well, right? So it requires a lot of time, right? Just imagine that if you have given a one of the project to your students, like, okay, you have to design this character or this particular object in a 3D or maybe in the 2D, even just a 2D, right? Or even just a sketch, right? It takes a long time, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
When it comes to working on a project, so that much of time is going to be added to our project. So why don't we use the technology which is available with us, right? We are able to create the characters as well, right? Another comes about animation and the motion design, right? So when creating this motion design or animations, right? So there are a lot of the things is going to be come up, like pose interpolation or in betweening, right? So all of these tedious process, your AI is able to help you, right? At times in between the frame animation, there are certain these technologies available into the market which is able to help you in all these things, right? Another, like when it's creating the simple animation, right? Like walking of the characters or the object rotations, there are nowadays video generative AI tools is available. At least they are able to help us at a certain extent. I would say they are not going to produce the 100% correct output, but at least 30%, 40% they are able to do it, right? Remaining 60% we are going to do it,
Yes.
right? So this is a big help, big, big help in this industry, right? Now coming on the blogs and emails, we are having the lot of the text-based these ones, like chat GPT, or maybe we are having the Copilot, or maybe we are having the Google Gemini, or we are having the Claude AI, right? We can create any of the blog, right? But again, there is a one of the ethical thing is going to be come up, the blog which is going to be created by these tools, right? They might not appropriate it within your domain, or within your entire environment or the society where you are living in, right? So at times you have to make those tweaks as well. Similarly with the email, similarly with the emojis, or as well as the study point of view that people are using generative AI in their daily task, right? So these are the everyday tasks what we are able to focus onto the generative AI, right? I will show you some of these, the prompts which is able to help you in creation of these ones, right? Also, I will tell you a basic step-by-step process that how you are able to write a effective prompts, right? Because that's one of the key thing in this. Technical applications of the generative AI, right? That was the everyday task. Now we are talking about the technical aspect of it, right? So when we are talking about the technical aspect of the generative AI, right, it is something very different from the traditional day-to-day task what we are going to perform in, right? Such as there are some of the automated of repetitive tasks which we are going to perform, right? With the help of those generative AI, we are able to reduce those repetitive tasks, right? Modeling and the texturing, we are able to enhance these things with the help of the generative AI, right? There are AI powered animation and the motion capture thing is available, and visual effect and the compositing is also available for the generative AI. There are various tools is available, right? Nowadays lot of the developments is going on, right? And we are able to use those development uh, with our like everyday tools what we are using, right? In case of the creative uses, we are able to experiment with the unconventional art style, right? Now when we are talking about the unconventional art style, what does it mean is, right, conventional is something which right, that let's say for example you are creating a bottle which is of plastic bottle, right? Conventional thing, a bottle you are going to create which is of you know uh, uh, steel bottle, it's a conventional thing, right? I'm just talking about an object creation, right? First about object, then after I will come on to the art as well. Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry to cut you. Are you sharing any PPT?
Yes.
Okay, so your PPT is not visible. We can only see your mail.
Oops. What's going on?
I think you can reshare your screen, stop sharing, and then reshare your screen once.
Why it is? Let me check. It's
Yeah,
visible now?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the creative uses of the generative AI, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is visible.
Perfect. I'm really sorry for this inconvenience. I think something is messed up. Okay. So unconventional art style, when we are talking, we know like there are various artists are there, right? And they are having their own styles, correct?
Yeah.
So every artist is having a it's their unique style, right? And you like that style. Other artist is having another style, right? You like that one as well, right? I think there is no technology is present here that you are able to mix both of those art style, right? Except the generative AI,
Correct. Yeah.
right? So we are able to experimental the unconventional art styles as well, right? I have seen couple of these art style where people are creating a multiple artist style in a one image, right? Not just a one or two, right? They have created a one of the style for a one segment, for a one artist, another for the another artist, another for the another artist. Likewise, they are able to combine 3 and 4 style in a one artwork. Right? And that's a super beautiful output what generative AI is able to produce us, right? So we are able to try those unconventional artist style as well, right? This can be only possible with the help of the generative AI, right? Generating the variations and the iterations. Let's say you have created a one of the design, you want the different variation of it, right? Is it possible that you are able to produce the different variation within a fraction of minutes? I think it's not possible, right, Swagata? If we will talk about the different variations, right?
Your
So
voice
different.
is not audible. Yeah, I think there was some problem in your audio.
No, my audio, I think it's perfectly fine.
No, for a brief
Uh,
moment, your audio went out.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's fine.
now it's fine, sir. So, sir, now it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I was saying about generating the variations and the iterations. When we have created a sum of the artwork, right? Is it possible that we are able to generate the another variation of that artwork or another iteration of that artwork in a fraction of minutes by using any of the tool what we are having as of now? I think it's not possible, as per my best of knowledge, that there is no tool which is able to generate the different variation or the iteration of the one of the design what we have created, right? It is
Yeah.
only possible with the help of the generative AI that within the minutes time, it is able to produce the another variation and the iteration of the work what we have done, right? So that's a one of the important use case of the generative AI where we are able to create the different variations and we are able to select which one is good for our project, right? Similarly, as I have mentioned about the unconventional artist style, that we are able to combine the two art style in a one of the image or maybe one of the creation or the object what we are going to create. Similarly, we are able to try the unique textures and the materials, which is not possible that we are able to combine these unique textures and the material in a one uh, object or the one of the creation what we are doing, right? That generative AI is able to produce this one. I will show you some of those things so that you are able to understand like how it is going to combining all these ones. Another is AI assisted storytelling and the character development. Storytelling is again one of the crucial art. Not everyone is able to tell you the story, right? And based on that story, the character development is again a tedious job, right? That you have created a one of the story, right? So the story is created, right? But when you are communicating those story according to the character development should be required, right? So the AI is able to, or the generative AI is help you in both the cases, that it is able to create the stories. Also, it is able to assist you for telling the story, also for the character development. So the different type of the character develop, like which you require for the entire, uh, your storyline, right? That you are able to create with the help of the generative AI, right? So that's a one of the creative uses of the generative AI. Any questions so far?
No,
Any query?
no. Can you just give them a quick, view of the previous slides?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so just 5 minutes or so, yeah. And then you can move on to the next
It was
topic.
visible.
Yeah. It's visible now.
Okay, earlier it was visible.
No, earlier it was not visible.
Okay.
Now everything is visible, so no issue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
what
can
we have
continue, Adarsh. We don't have any questions till now.
okay, perfect. So what we discussed so far, that is of everyday uses of the generative AI. These are the few of the selected tasks what you are doing every day, and we are able to use with the help of the generative AI, right?
Yeah.
Then we are having some of the technical applications of the generative AI. These are the things what we are able to do with the help of the generative AI. Another important thing when the technical application uses of the generative AI comes in, right? Not every time we are requiring a separate tool for using the generative AI, right? At times, companies are coming up the incorporation of the generative AI in their existing product, right? Uh, let's say, for example, if you need to design one of the character, right? Obviously, you are using maybe a mid journey or DALL-E or stable diffusion or some of these kind of the tool, right?
Yeah.
So there are some of the tasks which is possible only with the help of the Photoshop, right? So the Adobe is in the process, or might be they have incorporated the generative in the Photoshop itself, right? So this is one of the important thing which we have to understand, that generative AI is not just limited as a separate tool, right? Nowadays, companies are incorporating the generative AI in the existing product as well. Like for example, if we are talking about even as a Word and the Excel as well, right? So Microsoft incorporated the generative AI in the Word as well as in the Excel and the PowerPoint, right?
Right.
Similarly,
Yeah.
every company is going to incorporate the generative AI in the existing product, right? So why I'm adding this line on this point of time, because uh, the people are having the doubt, like, okay, might be because of generative AI jobs are going on. It's not the case, because the Photoshop is also incorporating the generative AI, right? So
Right. Yeah.
when the generative AI is going to incorporate in the Photoshop, meaning is what? You should know that, correct?
Correct. It will
The
minimize efforts on certain things.
definitely.
Yeah.
So actually, it is going to increase your productivity.
Correct.
Then the creative uses we have discussed, right? That unconventional mixing of the unconventional style, generating variations in the iterations, and unique textures, materials, storytelling, and the character development as well. There are some of the real world use case stories. There are many of these real world use case stories are there, but few of them just to tell you or make you understand that people are still working there, right? And how exactly they are leveraging this generative AI into their, you know, current development or the product what they are producing. So I think it will make you understand what exactly the challenges was there with the Netflix, and this is the one of the series Love, Death, and the Robots, right? So they
Yeah.
are pushing the boundaries of the animation style and the storytelling, right? So several episodes of this series, right, they utilize this AI to create a unique and experimental animation style, right, which is not possible with the normal tools what we are having, right? But with the help of AI, they are able to use it, right? Another use case of Toon Star and the anime background creation, right? I think this anime is one of the very complicated, task in terms of doing this animation thing, right? Because there are so many things are going to be added in this. So the companies are using to generate the backgrounds, right? They are using AI,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah, there are a lot of detail-oriented work in AI in anime backgrounds.
Right. So I think if you would like to share some of the insight or the, industry use case, you are share with this one.
Yeah. So yeah, no, rightly, as you said, Adarsh, so there are a lot of detail-oriented work which is associated with anime, and probably that's the reason they are using AI to create, detailed-oriented backgrounds. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So next, moving forward to this is just a beginning, and afterward we are talking about the image intelligence with the generative AI, right? That how we are able to create the images with the help of the generative AI, right? We have seen so many things on the first day, and we have seen the different ways that how we are able to write the prompt. It's the time to come into the action, right? And be ready to write some of the prompt, generate those outputs so that you are able to get hands-on this one. So basic image prompting is what? So the basic image prompting is consists of these following uh, ingredients, right? One is uh, this is you need to define the focus, what exactly you want, right? So at this point of time, let's say I'm saying that generate the high resolution image, right? This is what I want that generative AI should focus on, right? Maybe I can write a generator low resolution image, right? Maybe I can define as a ultra high resolution image, or maybe any different type of the image, a photogenic image, uh, you know, uh, ultra high resolution image, or maybe the different type of the resolution what we are having. I can specify that we need to specify that what kind of the task generative AI should focus on. This is something like this. Let's say the student, the students are sitting in your class, right? So you are giving them the broad focus that okay, what exactly you are going to do is. So meaning of this one, that mentally they are going to be prepared that what exactly I need to focus on, right? So this is we are going to make the alert to the generative AI that you need to produce this kind of output. The next step is you need to indicate the desired visual style or the tone, right? So the desired visual style or the tone, right, which you require within your image, right? So after this one, you have defined the like a focus, right? Afterwards, you are defined the subject, right? Similarly, this one, like you are teaching about one of the subject, right? So you given a background to the student that why you are learning about that subject, right? What is the usage of this one, right? Suppose that you are defining that subject, right? And after defining that subject, you are adding some of the tools which is going to be used within that software, right? So this way you are able to define your entire statement, or you are able to define the entire boundary of your project. Similarly here, what we are going to do is we are just going to focus for the generative AI that okay, you need to focus on this one. Then after you are specifying your object, afterward you are defining your desired visual style or the tone which you require. So generate a high resolution image plus subject, and then after I have specified like a majestic griffin perched on a mountain peak, right? So I have defined my visual style as well as the tone. Next is comes as a desired style as well, right? Earlier was the visual style, right? This was the visual style. Now we are saying as a desired style, right? So desired style, what we are having, that is style in detail as well as the hyper realistic, right? That is my desired one, correct? Now, important to note is it's not possible every time that the statement what you are writing exactly the same it is going to produce on, because these generative AI is still into the learning process, right? They
Correct.
are
Yeah.
still into the learning process. So at times they are going to be dropping some of the statement and they are randomly picking some of the statement, it might possible, right? Maybe you can try this particular statement on your machine, like generate a high resolution image, and then after continue this statement, generate a high resolution image, specify your subject, maybe some of the cartoon name or maybe animal name or maybe the word name, right? Then after, of a majestic griffin perched on a mountain peak, right? Plus detailed, comma, hyper realistic style, and see the output. I request you, everyone try to write this statement and see the differentiation in the output. Can you do it?
I think if you can demonstrate once.
Yes, sure, I will.
Yeah. They are asking which AI tool would you want them to use?
Anyone of their choice. I will show them this statement on a multiple tools, so they will see the differentiation as well. So no worries. Let me explain this from my side.
Yeah. If you can share it.
Just a moment. Just a moment. I just share my screen.
Yeah, we can see the PPT now, but
I'm
yeah,
just sharing.
yeah, sure. Can they use Leonardo to do this
Yes,
exercise?
yes, definitely, definitely they can.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I have already opened all this one to save the time. This is a Microsoft Designer. This is, I'm having a one tool which is called as a Runway, right? And another is your favorite is Leonardo, right?
Yeah.
Another tool I'm having here is Stable Diffusion, right? Also, we can use the Copilot as well, right?
Okay.
Or it's okay, we can use the Designer only because it is going to produce the similar output, right? So let's say a one same statement, what I'm going to pass on, right? The same, okay. Interesting thing is that if I will just write this statement as well, right? Then also it will produce a certain output, right? It's not
Yeah.
the case that I need to specify the subject as well. Why it is so? Because it's an artificial intelligence, correct? If it is a human intelligence, then it will ask like, okay, what is the subject? You understand? But in this case, it will produce a certain of the output, which might be a random output, right? Maybe it will pick a sum of the subject. We don't know, right? So
Correct.
I will shoot that one as well.
Yeah.
Then we can precisely specify that, right? In the meantime, I can try on this one. Precisely, we are able to change this, what you call, resolution of equal just click on generate, it will produce the certain output to me. In the meantime, you can see here. Can you see this one output?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So look
Yeah,
at
it
the
is visible.
beauty. look at the beauty of this generative AI. I have not specified the subject. I have not specified the style if something I want specifically or precisely, correct? But it is able to produce that output.
Correct. Yeah.
Any random character it picked up and generate that one, right? Like a bird, it created a bird, but with the tail, right? It is a proper word. So see, this is the beauty of the generative AI, that it will never disappoint you. It will produce something, right? Be it a right or the wrong, no matter what it is, but it will generate something for you. If I will look at this one, look at this. See, proper eagle style, right?
Yeah.
It is going to give this perfect output what I require. There is no tail, no nothing but proper shape of the eagle. But in this case, it is not that proper. So you understand that at precisely as I'm writing, it is going to generate that output to me.
Yeah.
Right? I hope it makes sense to everyone.
Yeah. So is it clear to everyone? You can comment it in the chat box. Okay. So can you suggest any AI tool which is completely free? I don't think there is any AI tool which is completely free. Leonardo gives you 150 coins per day.
Right.
So yeah. So absolutely free image generator. I am not sure if there is
Okay.
anything.
Only stable diffusion is there, which is
Okay.
completely free.
Okay.
Only the
But
stable.
okay, so do they need to install it, or they can work on it?
They can use the web UI. So the web UI is able to help them to create the images without installation.
Okay.
But the problem with the stable diffusion is that you need to practice a lot, and the refinement of the prompt is require a lot,
Okay.
right? Whereas in case of the other tools, it's kind of at times they are able to understand it properly, right? But at times you need to refine those ones, like the case of this one, right? So we need to refine this one. If this is the case, it is completely kind of a refined output what we require, right? So similarly, like Leonardo, it's again going to give you the 150 coins, so you are able to generate those images. It's better,
Yeah.
but it is completely free, right? So we can see that output as well. If the same prompt I'm going to run on this one, just to save the time, I'm just copy paste from here. It is also giving here that you can specify any of the negative prompt you require. I will discuss what exactly the negative prompt is and how it is playing a role. So we will discuss about this a little later in this, right? So I just click on generate. It will generate the output. So I hope it makes sense to everyone as of now.
Yes, sir.
Any ideogram you want to specify?
Any
Ideograms?
like what?
Yeah. In what context you are asking this, Tapan Kumar? No, sorry, Devanshu. Devanshu, in what context you are asking for an ideogram?
Are they asking about this ideogram, which is an AI tool?
I think, yeah, ideogram is free. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
an image,
ideogram is.
but ideogram, I have not seen, I mean, very good quality of, I mean, not like stable diffusion or Leonardo, the quality of the
Leonardo.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Adarsh, you were saying.
I was saying that basically we know that all of these AI tools, right? All of
Yeah,
these AI tool is having their own capabilities. Some
correct,
every AI tool is having some pros and some of the cons, right?
correct. Yeah,
And the best AI tool is that AI tool where you are comfortable, right?
correct.
Because every AI tool is requiring the prompt refinement, right? Every AI tool is requiring to write the prompt. Without the prompt, it is not possible that you are able to generate the images, right? So fundamental will remain same, right? Tools are there, but whichever you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable with this tool more, you can use that one, right?
Correct.
Obviously, before using that tool, you should go through with their policies, what exactly their policies are there available, right? Whether there are some of the legal complications or the ethical things are there. So be mindful about it, right? So it is wise that always take advice from the people who are into the industry and using that product,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
So this is a, again, you can see the output of this stable diffusion, right?
Yeah,
So the beauty of the stable diffusion is you are able to set the width and the height of the image as well, right? And you are able to define like the sampling step as well. So as number of the sampling step was there, that refined image you are going to get, right? Ideal size is the 20 steps, so 20 steps are going to be happen, and afterwards the image is going to be generated. I will discuss a little more about the sampling step, not today, maybe tomorrow, and will show you one of the small creation of that video, that how these models are going to generate an image, right? So that you are able to get the clarity about these steps as well, why they are taking so much of the time in generating the image, that we should also know.
okay.
Perfect. So let's move to the another part here. Let me share this. Okay. So I think this basic prompting is clear, right?
Yeah, any questions, guys? Any questions regarding the basic prompt structuring or anything related to
If you want
prompts?
to create some of the basic prompt, I can give you more of those prompts and you can try out those. Do you want to have some of those prompts?
No questions so far, Adarsh. You can continue.
Perfect. So the complete instructions, as I have mentioned, that further you can see here that we have added the detail as well, right? So in case of the earlier scenario, right? We have just mentioned in detail hyper realistic style, right? Then further we have added this detail as well. That is, the griffin has golden feathers and the piercing blue eyes. Mountain peak is shrouded in mist with a vibrant sunrise in the background, right? This is a further detail what we are adding, right? Earlier, what I have done, I have just add finished up to the style part, correct?
Yeah,
Now I'm adding the detail. Detail is purely an optional thing, right? But as we are adding the detail within the prompt, right, we are able to get the more refined output, right? We are able to get the more detailed output as per our requirement, right? Because first you have specified the subject and the style, which is one of the common thing which you require in every prompt, right? Detail specify that you whatever the further refinement you require within the image, right? So it always comes in the detail part, right? So you can add this detail and see the output. You are able to find the differentiation, like okay, it is giving a more different output. Like we have mentioned here that the vibrant sunrise in the background. Right now, whatever the images created by these AI, whatsoever the AI we were using, there was no vibrant sunrise in the background, right? But if we will add this one, then we are able to see that vibrant sunrise background. You guys can try it out at your machines as well. So you can see that, impact of it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we can try some more things here if you want in the prompts.
Yeah, I think if you can show them some uh,
Okay,
some examples. Yeah.
perfect. Let me share my screen once again for the prompt. Let's say I'm giving a one of the prompt here, and that is a very simple prompt I'm giving.
Okay. So some questions, Adarsh, I'll let you know. For example, can we create the same character but in different camera angles?
Yes, definitely we can.
Okay.
But again, it requires a certain mastery. It is not the case that in a one go you are able to create that one, right? It is, we are just at the beginning stage, right? It's just a start of it, right? So in the beginning, if you feel that okay, I'm able to do it, right? First, we have to understand a lot of these, the crux of this entire prompt thing. Then after you are able to do it.
Okay. Can you tell them how to create, distinct local characters like a freedom fighter or a mythological character? I think these are very subjective characters that you are talking about, Rimjim. So, I mean, the prompt structure will be the same, but creating very specific or very subjective characters, I think is not the purpose. But I'm sure if Adarsh will have some time, he'll definitely show you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Acha, also, can they take the help of Chat GPT to create prompts, to generate prompts?
okay. See, Chat GPT is going to generate, the output what you are going to ask it, right? Correct now. So Chat
Yeah.
GPT is not able to create the content until unless you are not going to ask the precise question to it, right? So if you want the sum of the prompt, Chat GPT is going to be generate for you. In that case, what is going to be happen? You need to specify to the Chat GPT what exactly you want. Correct? So
Yeah.
if you are able to tell to the Chat GPT that I want this thing, then why don't you directly write to these image generative tool? You understand my point? It is the same thing that you are going to ask to someone, right? But before asking to that fellow, you have to explain each and everything, correct? And each and everything you are telling to the other person, then after the third person is giving you the reply of it, right? So why don't you
Yeah.
directly ask to that fellow? My question is that, because ChatGPT is not something which is able to generate the prompt for you, or randomly it is going to generate the prompt for you. Let's say, for example, if you want a fluffy cat napping in the sunbeam, right? So what you will say, that generate a prompt of a fluffy cat napping in the sunbeam for me, right? I think it's a illogical thing.
Correct.
In fact, if you are having some of the idea within your brain, why don't you try that by yourself? Another important thing is that I will share you some more detailed insight of it, which will definitely is going to help you to understand the crux of this entire prompt writing, right? This is just a beginning, right? I will share you a lot of these insight and the different kind of the adjectives which you are able to use it, and where and how you have to use it, right? That I'm also going to suggest you, which will definitely going to improvise your writing capabilities. Secondly, right, you will not face that writing the prompt is one of the challenging tasks, but it will require a practice, right? I will not say that without the practice you are able to do it. Definitely it requires a practice. It is something like that. You learn the English language, right? You learn any other language as well, right? So what is the case when you are learning the languages? First, you are learning the alphabets, right? Post learning the alphabets, what you are doing, that you are going to learn about the words and a different type of the words, grammar, right? Post the grammar, you are understanding that what are the different type of the uh, the tenses what we are having, right? And where and what kind of a tenses we need to write, correct? And based on those tenses, basically they are going to uh, give you the task like, okay, write a one line by using the future tense, by writing the present tense, correct? So similarly in this case, I will give you the alphabets, I will tell you the grammar, right? I will tell you the tenses as well, right? And then after you will automatically start modifying those tenses, right? You will start modifying those the syntaxes within your entire statement, and you will get the desired output what you require. Learning language is not a one-day job, correct? It requires a practice. Teacher is giving everyday task like, okay, write the 10 future sentences on this one, write the 10 past sentences on this one. Then after you come at this stage that you are able to get the perfect use of the present, past and the future tenses, right? Then after they will give you the task, okay, write a paragraph. Got my point?
Correct.
So this is the same way we are going to be work on over here. Did
Okay.
we share?
Yeah, just one more question in between.
Yes.
Can you tell them how to create a list of Venn diagrams, spy tools? Like, is there any effective platform where they can use to create Venn diagrams or pie tools, pie charts?
Yes, there are the different tools are there, right? So I think it is not the part of this what you call uh, graphics and the animation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just hold on. This one I will let you know.
Yeah, correct. So probably next day, he can, Pradesh can give us a
Yes.
little information on that. Yeah.
So I think it makes sense to all look at this one. A delicious slice of the chocolate cake with a single strawberry on top, right? If I will use the same prompt with another tool, with another tool here, Look at this. Right?
Yeah.
This is the output by the Leonardo, and this was the output by the Microsoft designer, and this is the output by the Runway ML, which is going to be come to. Here, the best part of these tools are they are giving you the visual interface where you are able to, set these aspect ratio and the resolution, as well as you are able to change the different type of the style as well, right? Whether it is 3D cartoon or 3D render, 35 or what's not, right? Also, number of the output images you want, right? So right now it is going to display you the 4 images. If you want a one, so it is able to give you the one. This is again the same thing with the Leonardo, right? It is giving the by default as a 4, right? And the resolution again you are able to set over here. This is the premium one, right? This resolution you are able to get only after the paid, right? Otherwise, the image dimensions you are able to set over here, right? Number of the images you want here, right? By default is a 4. You are able to change these ones, right? Also, the image generation mode should be of the fast one or the quality ones, right? Preset style, if you are changing some of these styles, you are able to change these styles, right? And a contrast, what kind of a contrast you require. Prompt enhancement is an automatic prompt enhancement is there, right? So it is automatically going to add some of the keywords in the background and able to produce that one, right? And a few of these advanced settings is available, like a negative prompt option is there, transparency option, right? And tiling option and a use fixed sheet, right? So generally this use fixed sheet is going to help you that a one same object is going to be used again and again. If the same prompt we are going to write it over here, so we'll see the different type of output. Okay, it's taking a long time. Fine. I think it makes sense to everyone.
Okay, can you show them any direct access link to Stable Diffusion?
Yes. Can I paste in the chat box?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, where is the chat? Look at this one. Stable diffusion. Image is generated. It's taking a long time. Let me reload this. Okay, fine. I think fundamentally it's clear to all what exactly it is, right? So another important thing I would like to share over here, right? That it is a label one of prompt helper for you people, right? At times the challenge is going to be coming that what could be the possible parameter and how we need to write the prompt, correct? So
Correct.
I have started with a basic thing, a very basic thing, and which will definitely going to help you a lot in terms of understanding how the parameter should be written for a prompt and what are the different parameters can be possible in a one of the prompt, right? If you look on this entire sheet, right, there are the many of these parameters are there. They are not just limited because when you are going to click on the camera type, you are able to find a long list of the camera types, right? If you are going to click on the camera shot, so you are able to find almost all the different type of the camera shots, type of the camera lenses, and lens types, right? So it is also possible, and the depth of the field, right? And the different type of the lighting, correct? And then after, the different type of the artist styles. So these are the different artist name which is possible, right? Because it may possible that some of the artist style you want, but that artist style is not available with the prompt or the with the generative AI or with the large language model, depending on the rights and the permission, whether that artist is given the right and permission to use their style or not, right? So it's not the case that all of the artist is available, but I try to find out the maximum artist style which is available, right? Then after the film style, right? Then after the different gaming styles, right? Then after the different type of the skin style, right? And then after the age, what kind of a age you are looking for, kind of the emotions you are looking for, kind of the body types you are looking for, and head type, what kind of a head you are looking, what kind of a eye you are looking, ears, and all of these parameters, right? And similarly, the pose, what kind of a pose you want, correct? And then you are having the different type of the hand movements, right? And eyes, ears, mouth, nose, arms, torso, stomach, everything is there. Whatever you are able to make it change, right? Then after the different fashion scenarios, what you are able to specify. Then after the different type of the clothings, detailing what you require, right? And this is the negative prompting. And the background, what kind of a background you require. So that there are the various description of the backgrounds are there, right? So you can select those different type of the backgrounds, whatever you want. So let's say a historical, and we are saying a blue sky, right? Rather forest, I'm saying it should be with the footpaths. So this entire selection, whatever I am doing over here, it is going to create the entire prompt, right? And the main idea what you are looking for, right? You need to specify over here. Even you are able to specify whether the mustache is there or not, right? Or the beard you require or not, correct? And based on that, you are able to create, or you are able to use this one for creating the prompt, right? So this is your prompt. Whatever the style you are selecting, you are able to use it. Once you are going to copy this one, right, you are easily able to paste it over here, maybe with anyone. It's not the case with that, but with anyone, it is going to be come up over here, right? So it is going to create the image or the character what we have specified or what we have selected within this one. It is
Correct.
really difficult to remember or memorize all of those ones, right? But as I have mentioned, that if you know that what are the different alphabets are there, if you know that what are the different type of the grammars are there, if you know that what are the sentences are there, right? If you know that where you need to place a full stop, where you need to place a comma, right? If you know everything, right, you are able to write a sentence properly, right? And if you are able to write the sentence properly, then you are able to write a paragraph as well, correct? So when we are looking as a one of the prompt which is a very big written in front of us, and we strange that how they are writing these prompts. So basically they are going in a step by step form, right? We understand like, okay, it is written uh sorry, young male Indian, right? Full body facing camera, athletic body type, face with no mustache, no beard, and a fair skin, right? You understand all of these ones, right? Now whatever the changes you are doing in this one, right, relevant, you are getting the output. Make sense?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? And
Others,
it is
yeah. Shall I ask you one question or you'll continue first?
yes, please, you can ask.
Others, I just want to ask you one thing that, like, in programming languages, right, let's say C, C++, HTML, whatsoever, right? We basically maintain some kind of, syntax or something like that. So,
Mhm.
do you really, say some kind of such, syntax, some kind of, here you have used some comma, right, as a punctuation. Fine.
Right,
So,
right.
do you suggest that any such kind of specific punctuation or a syntax is there which can make it more efficient for the AI to understand our our like thought and all?
Okay, wonderful. So basically, this is the basic step, right? So when I'm putting the comma sign over here, means I'm separating each and every value, correct? And uh, this is the way that how exactly I want to generate an image or to create the image, right? Later on, as I mentioned you earlier as well, that it is not a one-day job, first of all, right? You cannot expect that, okay, from the day one, you would become a super smart in writing the prompts and you can write any kind of the prompt, right? It requires a practice. So once you understand, like, okay, this is the way the prompt is going to be written and these are the different parameters I need to specify, right? Then later on, or the gradually, what is going to be happen, and it becomes your practice as well, that okay, create an image of the young male Indian, right, with the athlete body, face without the no mustache, no beard, having the fair skin, smiling face, right, aquiline nose, wearing no headgear. Also, there should not be any eyewear. So gradually, you are able to craft those things, right? But this is just a baby step or a first step.
Right. Right.
Hope it makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it is a super basic step, right? And it will really, really help you a grand in a way that you will become a master if you will just write the two prompts every day and refine these prompts by yourself, right?
Correct. Correct. That would be a nice exercise. Yeah.
Right. Right.
And it is also, it is only going to be happen then when you are committed to yourself, that every day I just need to work on a two prompts and I will try to modify these prompts with my own tone, right? And trust me, after a 1 month you will find, like, okay, you are confident and you are able to write the prompt whatever it's going to become to you, because our brain is a kind of a such kind of a plastic it is made up of. When it is keep on scratching the same thing again and again, again and again, again and again, we memorize it, right? Like if I will ask to you people, like, okay, can you tell me if I need to do some of the option, like removal of the background by using the Adobe Photoshop, right? Maybe just by wake up from the sleep, you tell me, like, okay, you go in that place and you are able to do it. I really don't know whether it is possible that you are able to remove the background with the Photoshop or not, but hypothetically I'm saying this.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
So, but in the night you are able to wake up and will say, okay, go in that option. You are able to make it happen, right? The same thing is going to be happen in this case. That every day two prompts, practice it, try to modify by yourself, and you will see the wonders that after a 1 week there will be a lot of the improvement. After 2 weeks, further more improvement. 3 weeks, further more. Likewise, it is keep on going, right? So let's try this one. What kind of output is going to be generated by this? Uh, okay. here what I will do is I will just reduce the number of the images, so we are able to get the fast output of it. Okay. Okay, it is also the premium one. We are not able to change. Okay, let it be. We can try it out here as well. Look. Right?
Yeah.
Now, here is something is going to be come into the picture that we are not expecting this one, right? But it is generated this kind of output to us, right? So this is the part of our advanced prompt technique, right? Advanced prompt technique is what it is actually going to help you out in terms of, look at this one. This is a young Indian male, and see this. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have not done anything very great, right, in terms of writing the prompt. I just use that my helper, right, and create this one. And over a period of time, if I will keep on removing some of other things, I'm able to become the master of it. Got this point?
Yeah.
Any questions so far? Similarly,
So there are no questions as of yet,
okay,
but they like the method with which you did this character.
okay.
Is it possible to take a picture and modify with prompts?
Meaning of this one?
Yeah, I mean, can they use a photograph, then upload it, and then they can change it with the help of prompts?
Yes, they can do it. There are tools are available, but
Okay,
there is no free tool is available for doing so.
okay, and also you said no beard, but the character came with a beard.
Yes.
So
So
probably show them the use of negative prompts in
yes,
that, or
I'm
yeah,
coming
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Okay, so that was of the case with the the male object. Similarly, we are having for the female object as well, right? With the some differentiations in terms of dressing as well, right? What kind of dresses can be possible, right? Such as, for example, in case of this one, we are having saris as well, right? And other things as well in terms of you know uh, characteristics of the features of the woman, right? So we are able to create the similar way, right? So I think this is the one of the greatest start to work with the prompts, that at least fundamentally we understand that what are the crux of the prompt, what are the main features, how we need to write or the create the prompt. This is only about the two characters, male and the female, right? Further,
Yeah.
we'll see in terms of a cartoons as well as the background or the different type of other styles as well, anime or maybe different cartoon characters or Japanese manga and other things as well, right? Okay, now coming on to the another part here. Okay, let me share my screen. After the basic prompting, we see that there are the so many of the flaws was available in the images, right? And these flaws in the images, right, can be possible because it's an artificial intelligence, right? And once we are going to specify, uh, advanced technique, we are able to overcome from those flaws. But again, it cannot possible that in a first one time that all the flaws are going to be overcome. Maybe it requires some multiple iterations as well, right? So maybe you have to do the iteration of 2 times or 3 times, and then after you are going to get the exact image what you require, right? So keep patience. Don't go in a hasty way that it should create immediately or instantly. It's not going to be happen. You need to keep patience and keep on changing the different parameters because the machines are still in the learning phases, right? Now when we are talking about the advanced technique, so there are the advanced technique. First is going to be come up that style transfer and combine the aesthetics, right? So we are able to combine the different type of the aesthetics, compositions, and the depth of the field, and advanced textual cues and the emotional controls. So we are able to combine these multiple things as well. Apart from this, another advanced technique for the image modification is the negative prompt, right? Now, what is a negative prompt? Negative prompt is actually working as a positive thing, right? How it is going to be work? Let's say what is going to be happen. I believe that all of you are sitting out there. They know that how to prepare a tea, right? How
Correct.
many
Yeah,
of
I
you
hope.
know that how to prepare tea?
Yeah, if you could
Right?
just chat and type it in the chat box. Up until now, I think 2 people have answered yes.
Oh, only 2 people know that how to prepare the tea. Surprising. I I think it is
Yeah,
a one of the super easy task that everyone know that how to prepare a tea, right?
yeah, four as of yet.
Okay, fine. Okay, some
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah,
Fine. Don't worry. I will not ask you to prepare the tea for me, but at least don't worry to say yes. Okay. So when you are preparing the tea, or maybe someone else is preparing a tea for you, what is going to be happen? You are having a sieve, right? In the sieve, you are going to pour the tea which you have cooked in, right? What is going to be happen? Why you are using that sieve? You are using that sieve to filter out the things, right? Filter out the exact extract of the tea, correct? Because when you are preparing the tea, there are the tea leaves are there, right? Maybe you have put some of the spices like cardamom, or maybe you have placed the ginger and all that, so that are not going to be come in your mouth, so you are using the sieve to filter that, correct? Similarly, the negative prompt is going to be work over here. It is working like the sieve, right? So whenever the image is going to be created, is passed through with the sieve. So whatever the things which is present in that negative prompts, that's going to be removed from it, right? Hope it makes sense to you.
yeah.
Another important thing, that if we place the two sieves rather than just placing a one sieve, if we will place the two sieve, what is going to be happen? We will find more filtered tea, correct? So same thing is going to be happen here. If you place a one negative prompt, meaning one thing is going to be removed from it, right? But if you will place the multiple thing, what is going to be happen? That multiple things are going to be removed from the image, right? That's the beauty of the negative prompt. But downside of the negative prompt is, if you will place, let's say 5 or 6 sieves to filter your tea, what is going to be happen? It will take a longer time, right? Or might be you are not going to the exact quantity of the tea what you want, correct? So increasing the number of the negative prompt is having a downside of it, that your image production or the generation actually the image generation process will take a longer time, or it is not going to be produced the output what you are looking for.
Correct.
Got
Yeah.
this point? So that's a downside of the negative prompt. That if you place the ideal number of the sieve, that's perfectly okay, right? But don't increase those negative prompt. Otherwise, your output is not going to become in the defined time. Also, it will going to be a what you call, not going to be the exact output what you are looking for, right? So that's a downside of this negative prompt. So here in this one, if we look at, let me share the screen once again. Here I have placed this all the negative prompts. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this, we have placed the negative prompt, right? And all the negative prompts are mentioned over here, right? I need to further refine this one because there are a lot of the negative prompts I have mentioned over here, right? Or in fact, the entire list is there of the negative prompt. So if I will place those negative prompts, you will find that these are all the negative prompts, right? In this case, what is going to be happen, that I will not get the exact image what I am looking for, right? Because there are so many of the things are written here, so many things, which is at times not making a logical sense to it, such as a text, right? I have not given any of the prompt where I require a text or a watermark or a signature, right? I have not specified something related to the text or something related to the watermarking or something related to the text, right? But they are going to create a negative impact on the image generation, right? So that's a important thing, like we have to specify these negative prompts as per our requirement, right? So we are able to get at least a certain kind of the output which is really required as per our specifications, at least 70-80%. If it is giving the 80% of the output, it is perfectly okay, right? It is considered that it is a one of the good model if it is giving the 80% correct output as per your specification or as per your prompt, right? But if it is goes below to the 60 or 50%, then we are saying that prompt this model is not good. It is not advisable that you use this model, right? Like the case of this one, right? At every place, it is generated a wonderful images as per our requirement, correct? Except of the one of this one, right? We'll say this model is a perfect model as per the requirement, right? Whereas in case of the stable diffusion, although it is generated a one single image, but the output is not exactly what we require because we want the clean face, right? Similarly, if we will talk about this one, let's see what kind of an image it is going to be generated for us, right? So I think it will make sense to you. Another important trick in this one, right? And the trick is that if any of the parameter, if you are going to be enclosed in the square bracket or the simple bracket, let's say for example this one, right? So what is going to be happen when you are placing within the square bracket, right? Meaning of it, that object or the thing which you are placed within the square bracket, that is going to be highlighted within the entire image, right? At times what happens, that image is generated. Let's say for example we are creating the image where the two people are going to be displayed, right? and we want one is going to be highlighted more as compared to other, right? So you are able to place within these square brackets, right? And this square bracket is going to really help you out in terms of creating the perfect output what we require, right? Look at this one, right? So if we'll see the output of Microsoft Designer, we'll say again, this model is not that impressive as compared to the Leonardo or the Stable Diffusion, right? Because look at these faces, kind of the faces. It seems like kind of a sketch, some kind of a sketch work is there, right? But whereas in this case, it seems like a realistic image, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So when I'm placing here in a square bracket, let's see what is going to be happen. This is more highlighted, right? Okay. Again, let me take more examples for you. So basically, as number of the parameters as you are going to specify, that kind of the image is going to be created for you. Similarly, if I will take one more example here for you, uh, just okay. This is all about the style transfers, right? Or the mixing of the two artists' style in a one. Right? Here, what we are doing that inspired by the Japanese wood block prints with the touch of the Van Gogh's swirling brush stroke, right? So in this case, we are going to be mixing the two styles, right? So when we are going to be mixing the style, that's only possible in case of generative AI. that we have discussed earlier as well. Look at this. See, again, in this case, we have not specified like what kind of a creature we want, right? We just specify that fantastical creature, right? So according to this model, the fantastic creature is this one, right? So there should not be any questions on this. Whereas according to this stable diffusion, this is the fantastic creature, right? But it is going to combining both of the things like a Japanese wood block print as well as touch of the Van Gogh's precious styles. Similarly, if we are looking for more of this one, that are compositions of the depth of the field. So here we have specified the shallow depth of the field and focusing on the ground merchant foreground with the blurring background for a sense of depth. Look at this. Again, here you can specify or able to change all of these parameters that filled with the Indian, crowd, or maybe kind of the person you want rather than the fantastic creature. So if as you are going to change all of these ones, and maybe you are able to add here a camera angles, type of the camera is going to be used, right? Or maybe other parameter which we have specified here. So you are able to see those changes within the image creation in this scenario, right? Another important thing, it is always advisable once you have created one of the desired output of the prompt, right? After the multiple iteration and done the lot of the changes within that, right? Keep a one of the entire database of those prompts, right? Keep saving those prompts at a one of the place. So the advantage of it, whenever in the future you want the reference of those prompts, you are able to take it. At times, what is going to be happen that people is created a beautiful image with the help of the prompt, but they are not able saving those prompts, so they lost it, right? And they are not able to recall that what I have done in this.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So it is always advisable that create the prompt. And I would recommend to you people that if we are able to create a one of the common repository, right, where everyone is going to be place their prompts, right, then it will be a wonderful idea that we are able to have a beautiful repository of all the different type of the prompt, right, which you have created, right, or maybe the others have created, and we are able to keep on refreshing that and able to make the changes as per our requirement, right?
Kind of a prompt library.
Exactly, prompt library. So we
Yeah.
will have our own prompt library, right, and everyone is able to contribute in that.
Correct. Yeah.
So let's further try some more prompt here. This is, I am saying, based on my experience, because whatever I'm doing, I am keep on saving those prompts for my future references, right? So I'm able to just write it and showcase you like, okay, this is this. don't worry about all of these statements what we are writing here, right? Atop of a cliff and shrouded in the mist, because these are the different type of the adjectives which we need to specify to get a specific kind of the output, right? And all of these kind of the adjectives is actually mentioned over here, right? And this is all about the creation of an the personality or character, right? uh, Whereas in this case what we are using in this scenario, right, all of these different like airy blue of the full moon, right, these are actually related to the different kind of the background or the different type of uh, other subject creations, right? So we have the different kind of the helper which is ready for it, right? But today we are just going to be limit on this part, so we could able to understand the basic fundamental of these things, right? Okay, another prompt creation is this one. Oops, let me try this one. So you understand this part, like once we have started the basic thing, right? So we try to write these small word like vibrant image, comma, bustling water, underwater city, comma, simmering light, right? Then after over a period of the time, we are able to create these kind of the statement. So it is not also possible for me in a one go that I'm going to write these kind of the statement. It is a over a period of time. I also experience these things. Like if we are putting these commas, separating those things and creating the prompts, finally we are able to arrive on this stage that now I am able to write something for you. But again it requires a time, and it requires a multiple iterations as well. Look at this. See, this is completely different where it goes. So I think it will make sense to all of you to reach up to a certain level. Okay, how exactly all it works. Any questions?
Others,
Yeah,
the way you have used the square brackets to basically, focus onto a part of our, like, this male character, fine. Is
right.
there any such other, spatial symbols or something like this which can help us to get some, specific kind of this thing? Like we have slash or we have, this
Okay.
ampersand or whatsoever, right?
Okay, fine. So basically, there is other symbols are not there. There are some of the parameter which we are able to specify within these square brackets and the normal brackets as well, right? Or there is a making a certain kind of like multiple square bracket or a square bracket and a normal bracket combo. So we will discuss tomorrow about all those things.
Perfect, perfect. Okay.
There are certain parameters is also possible which you are able to pass through within these square brackets as well, right? So it is going to specify that how much focus you want on a one particular object or the subject what you are having.
Right, right. Okay, okay.
So any more questions?
Uh, is there any AI who can create a prompt on a given image?
No, it's a reverse engineering process which no AI can do it, because uh, AI is just to create something, right? But it is not do the reverse process that you are giving a certain image, then it is going to give you, you know, this kind of the result. Okay, if you need to create this image, you need to write this prompt. It's not
Correct.
possible. It is only the human brain who can do it, right? By understanding and looking the picture. Let's say, for example, are you able to see my screen of this one, prompt helper?
Yeah.
So
Ideal prompt creator. Yeah.
yes. So if you look at this image, right? By looking at this image, you are able to figure it out. Okay, this is a female character, right? In the background, what we are having, that is a hills, and this is the water body, right? And these are the wavy hairs and dark color, right? This is you, or this is human who are able to interpret that what exactly within the image, right? Based on this, you are able to create an prompt, right? But AI can do only one of this thing, like what kind of this object is, right? That's possible with the help of a certain AI tool, that they can identify that, okay, what kind of a object is this.
Okay. Yeah. So that's about it. I don't think. Uh, is there any prompt helper for Excel sheet? Excel prompt helper?
Yes, there is see, ideally you will not find all of those things in the open domain, right? Because
Correct.
if I have created something, right, so that is exclusive for you, right? So
Correct.
you are not able to find this is available for you, that you are able to download and use it, right? Maybe we can guide you, like, okay, you need to write the prompt in this way, but specifically what are the changes you have to do, and what kind of task you need to perform within with the help of the Excel, or how you are able to write the prompt for the Excel. Nobody is going to teach you that, right? They will like give you a broad scenario, like, okay, you can do this one, you can do that one, but nobody is going to precisely going to specify, like, if you need to do a certain or a specific task related to your work, so you have to write the prompt like this one. Or
Correct.
nobody is going to take these kind of the pains to create all of this one. Do you think, like, specifying all of these parameters is going to be a super easy thing, right? Because identifying each of these parameters and mentioning that, it's not an easy job, right? It requires a lot of days work behind the scenes, actually.
Correct.
Even I have not added all of these things, right? If we will look at this one, uh, all of these different type of embellishment, right? So I have not able to specify all of the different type of the embellishment here, right? Few of them I have specified, right? You can add as many as you want. Similarly for the fabric as well, right? Few of the fabric I have, but further we can add as many as we want. Any other questions?
Oh, I think that's about it.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah. So no more questions as of yet.
fine. So today what we have seen, a lot of the things related to these AI thing, right? How we are able to just let me share this screen. How we are able to work with the different type of the tools, how we are able to write the prompts, right? And how we are able to write these prompts, right? We have seen the image which is going to be generated with the help of these uh, you know different type of the tools. At times it is not 100% what we are looking for, right? But uh, you are definitely able to download these images, right? And able to modify as per your requirement, because there are various tools are with you, and you are the master of those tools, and you can able to modify those tools as per your requirement, right? By using those tools, you are able to modify any of the images what you want, correct? You just need to download that image in whatever the format you want, whether it is JPG or PNG image, or I really don't know, like which is much easier in conversion, or which is going to retain your entire, the aspect ratio or the resolutions, or maybe you are able to enhance the resolution of the image as well. So it's completely your thing, because you are the master of the modifying of the images or making the changes in the images. It's completely in your hand, right? So these are the few of the different applications what we have seen for the image prompting, right? We are able to write the prompt as per our requirement. Today we have mainly focused on the two things. One is the uh, two type of the human structure. One is the male, another is the female. Also we have seen the different type of other structures as well. We understand how these negative prompts are going to be worked on, right? I have a certain library of the negative prompt as well. Let me share you like what are the different negative prompts can be possible. So we are able to use them as well. Just a moment. Most important thing is that you need to be keep patience. It is not a one-day job that you are able to do uh, like prompt mastery in a one day, right? It requires a time, but I believe that if you are just writing the two prompts every day, right, keep on refining those prompts until unless you are not getting the exact output what you are looking for, right? Um it will definitely help you a lot, and you will become the master in the prompt writing in a 1 month. Okay, let me share the negative prompts. What could be possible here? Can you see this one? Are you able to see this one, negative prompt?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
So these are the universal negative prompts, right? The meaning of the universal negative prompts, meaning it is able to apply on any kind of the object, or any kind of the creation what you are doing. These are actually for the realistic photos, right? These negative prompts, when you want to work on a realistic photos, these are the possible like negative prompts. These are the prompt for the landscapes. These are the prompts for the portraits. These are the prompts for the cityscapes and the street views. These are for the portrait shoots and the people and the pets, for the inanimate. and nature and the wildlife photography, creating abstract art, and creating the picture of the food. Right. So these are the classification of the different type of the negative prompts. So by using this guide, you are not able to add more of the negative prompt. You understand my point? That as I mentioned, that as number of the sieves you are putting, right, that number of the sieves are giving the negative impact on the T which you are going to filter, right? Similarly, as number of the negative prompts we are increasing in the image creation, that kind of the adverse impact is coming on our image generation, right? So we are able to understand, like, okay, why we need to place this particular negative prompt for the portrait only, right? This particular negative prompt we need to place only for the street views. This negative prompt only we need to place for the photo shoots or the portrait shoots, right? I think this makes a sense. So this actually able to solve the problem of uh, over writing of the negative prompts or the underwriting of the negative prompts, right? Any more questions?
Yeah, so how to write negative prompt, and or like when do they write the prompt? Like after writing the main prompt, do they introduce the negative prompt?
Yes, after writing the main prompt, right, you need to specify the negative prompt as well, right? Maybe it can also possible that first time you write the entire prompt, look at the output, what the output is coming in, right? If you feel like, okay, there are the missing fingers within the image, right? So at this time you need to look for the negative prompt. But at times it happens because it's a model, right? And at times it is able to generate the output correctly, at times it is not able to generate the output correctly. So it is always advisable that few of the things which is a very common issues are there, especially in case of the limbs or in case of the hands or in case of the fingers, right? They are very common issues what we are seeing nowadays in the different these prompts, right? So we can write these things by default, like, okay, if I want to create a one of the image or a portrait of a certain person, right? And there should not be missing limbs, there should not be mutated hands or the missing fingers or the fused fingers or the disfigured hand, right, or too many fingers. These are the few parameters which you can write as a by default, right?
Yeah.
Rest other things are like such as pimples or maybe unrealistic, right? Or maybe you are finding the look is coming as a plastic look, so you can mention later on as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all for today's session. uh, if there is anything else is there, please do let me know. We can open for the question and answers now for any
Yeah.
other question which
Uh,
people are having.
yeah, nothing so far with related to the session. There is one last question, which is what will be there on the next session, like on 21st. We are
Okay.
meeting on 21st. So if you can give them a bit of a idea.
Okay, so 21st, actually we are going to be start for the more advanced prompting, right? Today we discussed about the human object, and next session we are going to discuss about the more creatures creation than the background creations, right? Also, we are going to be discuss about the ethical uses of the AI and what are the challenges we are having in terms of legal complications and the hallucinations of the AI, right? That we are going to discuss. Predominantly, the more focus would be on the advanced kind of the prompting things, and we'll see the practical uses of those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, so no more questions as of yet.
Okay. So let's give them a 5 minutes more time. If there is any questions
Yeah,
are
yeah,
going to be coming or doubt is going to be coming. So we
definitely.
are,
So if there is any more questions, guys, kindly let us know in the chat box. If you have any more questions, any queries. Okay, so any suggestions on how to use GenAI in 2D motion graphics? I think again it's a very subjective question, but yeah,
yes, if it is the case, we can discuss on the next session that how we are
correct.
able to use the 2D motion graphics.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if there is anything related to today's session, any confusions, any queries, kindly let us know. I think that's about it, Adarsh. There are no
Okay,
questions today.
perfect.
So yeah, so thank you everyone for being a part of the session, and we will be meeting you again on the 21st of June, that is Friday, same time 3 to 5. And yeah, so we'll have another great session with Adarsh.
So I think thanks a lot for everyone making it's more interactive, right?
Correct.
Hope
Yeah, yeah,
next session would be more interactive and we'll see more questions in the queries as well. Thanks a
yeah,
lot, everyone.
yeah.
Thanks, Swagata.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks a lot.
everyone. Thank you, Adarsh. Thank you for a excellent, engaging session for us.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yes, the PPTs will be given to you as CCWs. So that goes without saying for all of our courses. You will receive the PPTs as the CCW to conduct your sessions at your end in centers. So we'll provide you with that. Okay, yeah.